Hello everybody, what's going down? Today is Monday. That's right, it's September 2nd, 2024. My name is Sonja Marie. If you're new to my channel, please stick around, pull up a chair, hang out for just a few minutes. I'm not going to keep you long. And if any of this information resonates with you, consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I'd really would appreciate that. Share the information too, and do your best. Engage with us in the comments below. I'd appreciate that. And if you are a repeat offender, those that are coming back supporting a sister, I appreciate you. There's some information I got for you. You know how we talk, so let's get it going. Today being Monday, what's happening? It's a new moon, 11 degrees Virgo. Yep. So if you've been following me or you know anything about astrology, new moons always mean new opportunity, new vibrations to come in that literally lasts for the next year. Why? Because it is a cycle from new moon to new moon in which you will receive the new things that this new moon in Virgo or whatever that new moon wants to bring into your life. Yeah, oftentimes it happens almost instantly and within the days, right? But you do have like a good calendar year from one new moon in Virgo to the next to bring in new organizational skills, to bring in possibly maybe the avenue or the area in which you want to perfect. You put a little bit more details on it, a little bit more attention, a little bit more love, a little bit more effectiveness by adding people's opinion and or their insight. Check out some resources, research some more. Virgo is like, we got to get as perfect as possible because we know perfection is an illusion, but we're going to have to dig and uncover all the details within this cycle in order for us to receive these new opportunities in a way in which we can utilize them in a way in which we can build, especially as I hear these downloads right now and as they come on through, especially as this new life is being formed. I actually did just say this on Instagram, and the fact that we are being sifted right now, y'all. The shit that we don't need is going through the sifter. And everything that's needed and everything that's clustered, everything that has proved its worth is nice and solid and it's staying in the little sifter. It ain't going through. You dig? So now is the time to allow that new energy to come on in and show you precisely how you should utilize it. Now, the other download is that if it's not perfection, if it's not details, is it discernment? Do you need to discern differently how people and situations, furniture, as I look around my apartment, furniture and plants or whatever in your life, how do you need to discern differently how they affect your walk? They may have worked. This plant may have worked 2 years ago, but it doesn't work now in this house, in this space. Why? Because you've grown, because you are different. Because you have different glasses on, new perspectives. You understand life from a sifting perspective. You understand that we are leaning into this new world space to be in, and absolutely nothing that we held on to before matters. I'm a little hyped today, y'all. I'm a little hyped today and doing my best to control my energy. But listen to this. This discernment is needed. And while you see this discernment, while you are focused on your discernment, please and very please be detached from the emotional value of that. Meaning, don't beat yourself up for the reasons or the mistakes that were made around people and situations leaving. Try not to hold on too emotionally to people, literal people that have woke up one day and said, you know what, I don't love you anymore. You know what? I don't want to be your friend. You know what? This is done. Try to disconnect from those emotions. Why? Because Virgo energy says we got to look at this situation from a logical perspective. Because all of this newness that's coming in, on top of it being a new moon in Virgo, but all the newness that's coming in, again, we're going to have to be a gatekeeper to our own happiness, a gatekeeper to our own success. Yes, that looks like boundaries and it looks like restrictions and it looks like all of those things, but discernment is necessary. Discernment is just a touch bit different because you add compassion to it. You add love to it. You add understanding to it, but you add respect for yourself. That's the boundary part, right? To figure out what it is, how you need a thing, and if you do, you need a thing, and if you can't provide a thing for somebody else, then possibly maybe you can assist by offering them a suggestion of where they can get help, but I can't help you. Discernment, boundaries, walking into this new life. And what that looks like is you having enough energy, enough power, enough information to do what you need to do for your walk so you can assist the next. That's what the new world looks like. That's what the new situation looks like. Forget what everybody else is telling you. I'm joking. Because honestly, there's a lot of information. There's a lot of new perspectives and different perspectives of looking at what's happening right now. But the bottom line is we need to know who we are in order to walk forward. Otherwise, the forces that are very, very, very hell-bent on convincing us otherwise want to swallow us up and take us over. And if you are not standing firm in the fact that, no, I'm a teacher. No, I don't want to be with you. No, I'd rather give my money over here. No, I'd rather live in this country other than this. Like literally stand in your ground and how you want this walk to play out from here on out. You have to come forward with that, straight and forward with that. I know I'm emphatic and I know I'm repeating myself, but I really mean it and I'm sweating because it's hot on Labor Day. On Wednesday, Mars is going into the awesome sign of Cancer. Could you guess what sign I am? Mars being in Cancer until November 3rd, actually, of this year is actually an awesome situation, especially for those who are water signs, because why? It gives you a little boost. It gives you some energy to do what you need to do. It's like a propeller underneath your booty that keeps you going, that says, come on, we got things to execute. We have things to complete. So water signs will get that boost to do a thing, to get a little bit more energy. A lot of water signs don't have physical energy. I'm not saying that we are lazy and or we don't do things. That's just ridiculous and impossible, right? But it's the type of energy that's needed sometimes and how water signs roll. Water signs roll generally with the energy of I get there as I get there, and when I get there, it's right on time. That's how we want the world to feel right now. Y'all get that now? The bottom line is that doesn't matter what sign you are going to be affected how that Mars in Cancer rolls. So I say, get used to showing up when you show up. Get used to being motivated by how you feel, by how you're inspired, by how loving it can be, how compassionate it is, how emotionally worthy it is, worthy for you or for somebody else that's receiving whatever it is that you're doing. How are you being motivated? Mars is sex too. This is a good time to have interactions and sexual connections with those that you really feel emotionally. Remind people of why you chose them, why their heart is so connected to yours through the act of sex, but also through the act of just doing things for people. Again, maybe be motivated in a way in which you show up in a caring, more compassionate way for folks. Listen, on some real spit, a lot of people denote love as that statement. It's a t-shirt. I love you. Literally. It's a t-shirt. Don't you know I love you? I could fuck you up, but I love you. I could take your money, but I love you. I could talk mess about you, but I love you. Nah. Listen, with Mars in Cancer, it says, if you love me, you feel me, you want to emote, you want to be happy, you want to be sad, you want to be depressed with me. Not really, but you want to, help me in some kind of way, feel this thing through, then be available to be there for me. Be available to listen. Be available to sit with me. Be available to utilize love as a real action. And that's what Mars in Cancer says. The action behind the love. The ability to sit there and absorb people's heart. The ability to sit there and to listen to people's grievances without judgment. Mars in Cancer is incredibly passive aggressive. You can't see it that well, However, some never, when it leaves, you miss it. Mars in Cancer. Make an impression on people's heart while Mars is in Cancer, y'all. Make an impression on your own heart. Show how nurturing and how nourishing you can be to yourself. Literally, when things don't feel right, walk out. Right. When you get a massage or if somebody touches you wrong, speak up. Literally. When you feel a certain way and it just doesn't rub you right, it's time to emote that in a way in which you garner some respect. Because Mars is in Cancer going, yo, I'm hell bent, I'm energized to get everybody ignited about feelings, about how you feel, about how I feel, and we are going to sit and work it out until it's done. This is kind of an interesting, tricky little space for some people. Why? Because folks would like to deal with you on a superficial basis almost always. Why? Because a lot of relationships are transactional. You do for me, I do for you. You give me some advice, I give you some advice. You help me here, I help you there. Mars and Cancer don't play those games. Mars and Cancer says I'm doing because I love to do because it feels good to do. Not because you giving me something back. So for those who are looking for a transaction, for those who don't love from the center, who love from the surface, for those who are non-trusting, for those who hold up blocks and walls, for those who are sneaky and looking for the other shoe to drop, for those who just don't connect with feeling, you're going to have a hard time with Mars and Cancer. Trust me when I tell you. Get in contact with how you feel and then execute from there. Regardless of how much sense it makes, regardless of how much money it makes, regardless of how much respect you may garner, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Boom. That's it. Now, what's so tricky about the rest of this week has to do with communication, has to do with Mercury. Let's put it down like this. On Friday, the moon will sextile Mercury. Why? Because the moon will be in Libra and Mercury will be in Leo. Now, with this in mind, right, the way we feel towards our partnerships, towards any business relationships that are going down, the way we feel towards being fair or being just to anyone, the way we feel in contractual situations and how we connect with people and borrowing money, investing money, how we talk to people, the way we feel about that thing is in right alignment with how most people are thinking. It's a buddy-buddy system on Friday. So the bottom line is that you may get those people that you can connect with, that you resonate with, that all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, that's my best friend. Oh, this boss is going to be the best boss. I can see the way he communicates, the way she communicates. I feel that there's a partnership here. There's a connection here. This feels like it's going to be safe. This feels like it's going to be fair. Well, the next day, Saturday, Mercury squares Uranus. With Mercury squaring Uranus, all the things that were set up the day prior is about to what? Switch. Yeah. Again, Mercury deals with communication. Uranus deals with switch-ups, changes, and rebellion. Uranus deals with the weather. Uranus deals with electricity. Uranus deals with all things that seem erratic. So, possibly at the end of the week, when you're all hype and you're ready to go with a new partner, a new business deal, a new situation, and you fall in love, possibly maybe that person switches up the next day. Maybe they go back on their promise. Maybe they want to switch things around in a contract. Maybe they misunderstood you and thought you said $1,000 instead of $10,000. They don't sound the same. I'm just saying. Just maybe. There's a switch up on people in the way that they think, in the way that they talk, and how they heard a thing, Mercury, and how they plan in a thing, and how they strategize in a thing, and it throws you off guard. Please don't let it Please, I'm giving you this warning for a reason. Something may change in the plans, but no, this is divine. This is necessary. You needed to find that little loophole that you found, possibly, maybe, that has to change the situation around, or that made that person change. Why? Because they ain't really fair. They showed their true colors. They showed their true colors. The bottom line is pay attention and don't get your panties in a bunch. Allow it to go on by, because something better is coming, boo-boo. Something better is coming. And this is the part where we pick a card. I'm so glad. It's nice and short today, y'all, because what? It's Labor Day, and a girl has some other work to do, and plus I want to get in a little bit of sunshine. So I'm going to be out of here in a minute, but let's pick a card and see what the vibration will be like. If you have any questions, anything you don't feel fulfilled by, please leave a comment and or a question in the description box below. I'd appreciate that thing there. Don't mean we can't converse. What's happening? Look at that. The inner voice. Please, please pay attention to what's being told, all right? So you can move with your feelings. I just got hit with that. Yes, it resonates. Mars and Cancer, you get it? The inner voice speaks not in words, but in the wordless language of the heart. It is like an oracle who only speaks the truth. If it had a face, it would look like the face at the center of this card. Alert, watchful, and able to accept both the dark and the light, symbolized by the two hands holding the crystal. The crystal itself represents the clarity that comes from transcending all duality. The inner voice can also be playful, as it dives deep into the emotions and merges again to soar towards the sky, like two dolphins dancing in the waters of life. It is connected with the cosmos through the crescent moon crown and the earth, as represented by the green leaves on the figure's kimono. Listen, y'all, there are times in our lives when too many voices seem to be pulling us this way and that. Our very confusion in such situations is a reminder to seek silence and centering within. Only then are we able to hear our truth. Ashe. I hope this hit somewhere deep in your heart today. I'll be back next week. But before I go, I want to remind you that I have a summertime special that's ending on September 22nd. The lowest it has been in a while, the fee that is, for a 90-minute reading. Yes. Please hit a sister up and let me know how I can assist you. It could be an individual reading, a couple's reading, reading for your children, whatever. Let me know, all right? I look forward to assisting you. Also, I am going to do a virtual summit on September 14th. I'd love for you to join us, aligning ourselves with our abundance and our happiness. I'm going to speak on that, astrologically speaking. And then on October 26th, I have a lot of announcements. Under the Hollis Tree is doing a little sweet day retreat on October 26th. Please come on through and check out the links below. I'd love to see you. Thank you for joining us today. And please listen to that inner voice. It's yours. Adios.